Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me. To begin with, in the report I put out today, there's a recommendation that I'm looking for the Kiwi dollar to break down further. In light of the Aussie price action, a break with the Aussie beneath 75.90 trigger level should also correspond with the Kiwi dollar breaking this uptrend, which emanates from 68.90 up to a high around 73.70. As you can see here, this uptrend, if breached from 72.75, would give further weakness and give a potential target of 71 cents. Now, I do expect to see stops placed above that 73.50.80 area. So let's move on to the other markets. As you can see that the Australian dollar is performing bearishly. After, if we look at the 4-hour price action, the market fell heavily overnight from that 76.80 level. In light of the pattern, as mentioned, if we get a break of 75.90, then I'm looking for further scope to the downside and look for an objective that comes in around 74.80, which is where these troughs and peaks are, and reassess from there. The weakness in euro overnight continues on as the market falls away from that 108 handle and went through that 107.05 support, and now looking further down towards the next target, which comes in around 105.70.85. In light of the current pattern, I do expect to see further weakness, with the two indicators fully in a negative sentiment. Should see the move once triggered from the break of 105.70 to fall towards 104.55, and then lower to the recent objective around 103, or the near 14-year low of 103.60. Resistance on the day comes in at 107.0515 to 107.75. Dollar yen, very odd price action, as you can see from the break of 111.90 the previous day, with the dollar strength returning. If you noted from my report that I wasn't overly bearish from the break, purely for the fact is that the dollar yen's performance in a bear phase hasn't been actually all that supportive in terms of coming through, and from the recovery of the US dollar and also breaking above the 112 handle may give further scope to the upside. But the US dollar has got a lot of work to do, as well as the dollar yen. A break above 112.60 today would give further scope. And in the next 24 hours, we do need to see prices above 113.15.25 to support the bullish story further. If not, the risk is that we could see a return in weak price action and look back towards under the 112 handle and down towards 111.70, with the support now coming in around 111.10.15. The sterling's price action, very bullish. In the end, after breaking 124.20 on the downside, the market fell to the lows around 123.5. After 4 attempts, the market whipsawed back to the upside, but now losing momentum. Two things to note here. If this is a true bullish outside range day, and if you go to the bar chart, you can see the market new low, new high from the previous day and closes above that high, is the fact that we could see further scope up towards 125.40.50 to 126.05.15. Now, that being said, if the dollar strength does continue, then I feel that this market move overnight was a one-off, and especially when the sentiment is holding to a negative pattern here for the stochastic, as you can see, it's free falling. And with the histogram on the MACD also breaking to a negative form, is the fact that it's highly unlikely that a move to the upside will continue on. So support comes in at 124.60. Beneath there, we'll see a move to 123.80 and then back to the lows around 122.80.90, with the objective still remaining around 121.20 to 80 area. And gold pretty much now finding its last legs to the upside. I expect to see a move away from the resistance of 12.38.40 with a cap of 45, and look back towards the support of 12.26 to 22. Now, a break beneath 22 would give further scope to the downside, and look towards 12.14 to 12.06 and reassess from there. So that wraps up my daily video. Thank you very much for joining me, and as always, look out for that intraday report and also for that recommendation I've given on the Kiwi.